I think that I'm suffering from roguelike fatigue, because I've been hungry for a game that actually attempts to tell a story. Gestalt, and Cinder has been on my radar for a while, and besides the 2D action platforming, I was most interested in the fact that the game clearly has a story to tell, and after recently playing so many games where the narrative is never expanded beyond setting the tone, I was very excited at the prospect of having a story-focused experience. In the world of Gestalt, an inciting calamity tore open a rift in the planet, exposing an extraplanar realm that became known as the Abyss. As demons poured out into the world, the people harnessed the power of the Abyss to fight back, utilizing steampunk technology to create powerful armors. A band of warriors known as the Achaeans were able to don these armors and save humanity, but the power of the Abyss slowly corrupted the Achaeans. Led by the Betrayer, the Achaeans sought to further harness the Abyss and control the world until they were defeated by a lone Achaean knight that held steadfast to their humanity. After being defeated, the Achaeans swore revenge and were exiled to the Wasteland, and the steam city of Canaan was erected as a bastion of hope to repair the damage done by the Abyss and the Achaeans. You play as Aletheia, a Soldner, or Sodner? I'm not really sure, that grew up in a district of the Steam City that was attacked by Achaeans and left to rot by Canaan's governing body. Aletheia is a mercenary of sorts, and has earned a reputation of being reliable and a skilled warrior with swords and firearms. After being hired to locate someone in Canaan's underbelly, Aletheia discovers ancient technology from before the war that resonates with the Abyss, showing her a vision of the Betrayer's return and Canaan wreathed in flames. In order to prevent her vision from coming to pass, Aletheia sets out to identify the potential Achaean threat before war reaches Canaan's walls. Gestalt, and Cinder is at its core a 2D action platformer with RPG elements and a hint of Metroidvania. The pillars of gameplay in Gestalt consist of melee and ranged attacks with a dodge roll either forwards or backwards. Using your sword, you're able to perform a light attack combo, and you unlock heavier attacks as you progress through the game. You also possess a revolver for ranged attacks that are based around an energy charge system. Energy is gained by hitting enemies and breaking containers, and you are initially limited to one shot. Adding a level of depth to combat is the break system, where enemies have a secondary break meter that when depleted will stun them briefly and increase the damage they receive. This break meter is reduced through normal melee attacks, and early in the game you receive a skill that allows you to freely choose between ranged attacks that prioritize break damage or health damage. One criticism I have for the early game is that some attacks feel stiff, but you can use your dodge roll for more fluidity and create space to combo with your revolver. Gestalt also makes use of RPG elements to increase your strength as the game progresses. Defeating enemies grants experience, and you can increase your level up to a maximum of 50. Leveling up grants you ability points, or AP, that can also be earned by locating hidden red Tesla switches and completing optional quests. AP is spent in the gem board, or skill tree, where you obtain additional skills and increase your stats as you activate more nodes. Some skills are unlocked as you progress through the main quest, which make new sections of the skill tree available for additional growth. There are also accessory items that you can collect to increase your stats beyond what's available in the skill tree, and you can really feel yourself getting more powerful as the game continues. There are also some light Metroidvania elements in Gestalt, but I'm not sure die-hard fans of the genre would describe it as a Metroidvania. While there are additional upgrades and items that can be found through exploration, the game is fairly linear, often taking you through areas and providing the ability needed to fully explore that area before leaving. There were some instances where the narrative takes you back through previously explored areas, but I personally did not make an effort to backtrack through everything because I found myself more engaged with the story and comfortable with my strength and abilities. Gestalt also has a focus on dialogue and narrative, often utilizing cutscenes between transitional areas that I think play a big part in establishing the world. The cutscenes never felt too long or overbearing, and I felt they were effective in providing insight and showing the machinations of story elements occurring in parallel to the events the player is directly experiencing. We see characters defining and moving towards their goals, and it builds anticipation of when these paths will collide. While the story isn't incredibly nuanced, I think the writing succeeds in what it aims to accomplish, and I think the pacing is spot on. It's clear that a lot of effort went into the setting and characters in Gestalt, and I think the effort was well placed. I always appreciate when a game attempts to tell a story and make an effort to build characters, because seeing multiple viewpoints and contrasting ideologies contribute more than I think people realize toward making a setting feel tangible and alive. One item I think could be improved is that the story being told largely happens in the background, and Aletheia doesn't have much direct influence over it. The events the player is experiencing are often going somewhere to learn something and being sent to the next breadcrumb. Again, I did personally think the story was engaging, but I would also understand if others walk away feeling like they didn't directly affect the story being told. While I think Gestalt is a great 2D action game, there were some things that stuck out as potential areas of improvement. For one, the consumable items that can be found or purchased were often ignorable in my experience. While antidotes were made useful near the end of the game, I paid a majority of the other consumables no mind. Another far more noticeable thing is that enemies attack at a very high cadence that result in combat feeling samey from time to time. You can unlock more combo hits for light attacks in the skill tree, but often you will be forced to dodge before using these extenders due to how quickly enemies cycle their attacks. Breaking enemies ensures you can safely get extra hits, but the increased damage dealt means enemies will generally die, again before you reach those unlocked combo extensions. These extra hits are helpful in boss fights, but you fight bosses much less frequently than normal enemies, and it's a bit disheartening to not be able to make full use of your unlocked abilities in most situations. Overall, I felt Gestalt's Demon Cinder was an enjoyable experience all around. While there are some areas of improvement, Gestalt provides excellent music and art direction with gameplay that's fun and a story that's told well within the context of the game. I'm excited to see how Metamorphosis Games grows, and I hope to see more from the world of Gestalt in the future. Thanks for watching, take care, and remember, keep having fun.